He's ass? He's ass? What is the, so, like, what's the theme this week? This is like me at, like, an orchestral performance. But I don't know the work, and there's no program notes. There's no listening notes. Me drinking a wine without a little piece of paper that tells me what I should be searching for. What is it? What is that thing I'm tasting? And is it, like, is that the Okie Afterbirth? It's another Office reference. Yes. Not chat saying, ooh, gross, and then realizing it's from the most normcore show of all time. People always be like, oh, I don't watch normcore. I don't watch normal shows like Seinfeld and The Office. I watch stuff that's a little too weird for you. And then you're like, what is it? And it's like, oh, it's a girl who's a tank. It's not weird. It's weird that you think it's weird. Like, of all the things you could possibly make on television, which is literally like limited only by your imagination, that's not even that crazy. Rick and Morty? Okay, now that guy, somebody lock this guy up, dude. We got a certifiable freak in the chat. A Rick and Morty viewer? No way, dude. I'm pretty weird. I read books. People like say shit like that, and then I'm like, what books do you read? And they hit me with like some, like a fantasy novel. Like, no, you don't read books. You read fantasy, okay? It's too I'm not saying there's anything wrong with reading fantasy. I'm saying there's something wrong with looking down on other people's media choices because you read books, but the books that you read are like, you know, The Pink Crystal, book 9 of 400. Chlamydia grabbed the sword from betwixt the two. If you read, like, listen, I did not expect, this might be the bit where I expected the most -2s and got the most +2s that I've ever received. I thought it was going to be wall-to-wall -2. Like, if someone said, oh, I don't watch TV, it's like, oh, that's so juvenile and prosaic. And I was like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, oh, I've been reading through the Dostoevsky classics. I would be like, okay, you're a snob and you own it. Sometimes people will be like, I don't watch television. I'm like, what do you read? And they're like, Guy Gabriel K novels. And I'm like, well, it's all about getting fucked by a wizard. It's the same shit. Don't act like you're better than me. You're basically reading old young adult novels, and I'm watching, like, comic book cape shit. Like, we're cut from the same cloth. Why are you trying to get a dividing line between us? That's a lot of +2s, man. That is a lot of +2s. And I am living for it. -2 for the author? Well, I had to pick, okay, because, like, listen, I'm not going to pick Robert Jordan because he's very well respected. Obviously, I'm not going to pick Tolkien or C.S. Lewis because they're part of, like, the fucking Library of Congress. So I had to pick a fantasy author that I knew who makes, like, some horny shit. And I was like, okay, it's got to be Guy Gabriel K. There were no other options. If there were other options, I would have gone for them, okay? It's pronounced Guy? Okay, well, then you can -2 me for that. I did not know that. Aren't all books part of the Library of Congress? Nope. I see what you're doing there, and I admire the attempt in many ways. But no. No, they are not all part of the Library of Congress. Also, I don't believe that Lord of the Rings and the Chronicles of Narnia are in the Library of Congress, because they were written by British people. I can't imagine that they would be claimed by the American Library of Congress, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe they are? Can't have shit in London, man.